My family, hi, welcome to yet another one. So from talks of negotiation.
As you know, we have a massive flotilla right now going over to Iran. We'll see what happens. I think they want to make a deal. I think they'd be foolish if they didn't. We took out their nuclear power last time, and we'll have to see if we take out more this time.
Do you think a deal with Iran with this current regime would ever really stick?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I know one thing. They want to make a deal. They wouldn't talk to anybody else, but they're talking to me. But, you know, it's a good question. A lot of people say no. And I would say that I'd rather make a deal. It's got to be a good deal. No nuclear weapons, no missiles, no this, no that, all the different things that you want. But some people worry that they've been very dishonest with us over the years, right? Very dishonest. Obama and Biden, what they did in terms of creating a monster with Iran was terrible. That Iran nuclear deal was one of the dumbest deals I've ever seen.
The US President Donald Trump has hosted the Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for talks on Iran. There are simmering tensions there, and it seems there is disagreement on whether or not the US can strike a deal with Tehran. Let's go to Washington correspondent Jonathan Kersley. He's outside the White House for us. A little bit chilly. Sorry, Jonathan. Sorry to keep you waiting. What has President Trump said after these discussions?
President Trump has essentially said that there's nothing definitive that came of these talks today here at the White House. It was interesting to note, no cameras, no fanfare. No great big press greeting for Benjamin Netanyahu as he arrived on the western side of the White House, just a matter of a couple of 100 metres drive from Blair House, where foreign leaders normally stay when they come to visit the President of the United States. He made his way inside. They sat down for around about 2.5 hours and discussed Iran, obviously at the top of the list, given the US has sent an armada there, and there's been concern about domestic issues inside Iran with the rising domestic tensions, but also the rising international tensions. President Trump has put a lot of pressure on Iran to back down on three key aspects of its own system, and that is largely nuclear enrichment. He wants Iran to also walk away from supporting proxies in the region, and likewise wants them to step back their stockpiles of ballistic missiles. That is something that Israel wants, but it has more demands. It wants President Trump to take those demands on board in his talks with Iran, and it seems that's where the sticking point lies. We did hear from President Trump directly on Truth Social after this meeting took place, and in part he said, "I have finished meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu. It was a very good meeting. The tremendous relationship between our countries continues. I insisted that negotiations with Iran continue to see whether or not a deal can be consummated. Last time Iran decided that they were better off not making a deal, they were hit with midnight hammer. That did not work well for them." What President Trump is trying to do here, Laura, is essentially use diplomacy, continue that diplomatic path, but also hang the threat of military action over by deliberately pointing out that military action the US took last year on Iran's nuclear capabilities. We also heard from Iran's foreign minister on the issue of whether or not the ballistic missiles that Iran has and its stockpiles was something that was on the table at all.
No one can do even the smallest thing against our missiles. Our missiles are not part of the negotiations, and they won't be.
So we didn't physically hear from either leader, President Trump or Prime Minister Netanyahu, in front of a camera here at the White House today. We did see President Trump a couple of hours later emerging as he pushed domestic coal-fired power issues in boosting America's own War Department and America's own armed forces, presented not only by a group of individuals, miners with hard hats, but his own statue as a keepsake of a day when it was not only domestic issues, but foreign issues that were certainly high on the President's agenda. Laura.
Jono, thank you. Appreciate the update there from the White House in Washington.
There's been so much lead up to this, but there's so many innocent Iranians killed. We hope and we think that has slowed down because of the American threats and their military presence in the region. After hearing these latest warnings from Donald Trump, do we expect military action?
To a cry for help from Iranians.
The Islamic occupation Iranian Pouria Hamidi recorded a video telling Trump to not make a deal with the terroristic IRGC and shortly after recording the video, he took his own life.
If you're watching this, then I'm not around anymore. If you don't know, I'm from Iran, and a massacre happened in the past few weeks by our government. More than 40,000 people died. I want to make this video to send a message to America and to the West in general. President Trump is going to make a deal with this regime. I mean, he told us to keep protesting, and we did it. We trust him. To make a deal with this regime is to betray all those people who died. I beg you, do whatever you can to stop this deal. Many people say that we should take matters in our own hand, but how can you fight people with guns? I mean, it's not just the government. The government itself hired terrorist groups, Muslim terrorist groups, to kill people. And we still don't know what they did with the bodies. I'm so fortunate that they haven't got me yet, but I guess that's why I'm doing it myself.
A lot of you have been asking questions, especially wanting to know prophetically from prophetic voices, trusted prophetic voices, of what this thing would be, what would the outcome be like in the long run? Maybe not this year, but in the years to come, or even this year. And this is what we actually have from Prophet Angel so far.
We want to get to the Middle East. Let's go say. Israel and Iran, I saw escalation rhetoric. Escalation. But in that escalation, I saw America at the top of it. And I saw even Iran itself, as it were, in a star-spangled banner being given to someone. As I saw Greenland is what I saw with Iran. So it will be like it's given overnight. But they didn't get it.
Wow.
It's like it's lost overnight. The strength of the Islamic regime in Iran is falling.
Wow.
I don't know if you're getting this.
You're getting it, sir. Getting it, sir.
But it won't start the way people think it will start. People will do the same mistake that they are doing with Venezuela and say, oil. When it's not even oil. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
And when they begin to talk about oil, there is going to be oil price volatility, where it will disturb the markets, yet it is not the thing that they should be looking at. Countries are losing their power. And the UN will back as usual, but never bite. I saw a single military and covert incident that will spike oil prices overnight, then stop. It looks like it's a war, but it's never a war. Then it is stopped. Oil prices have already spiraled. And to bring them down will be something. So the world will breathe again, but the axis will have shifted. Things would have changed already in there. Are you here?
So my family, concerning the US, Israel and Iran issue, this is as much as, we actually have, prophetically concerning, if it has to do with what the Lord has revealed to Prophet Uebert Angel. And hopefully he might address it today. I don't really know, but I know that there is a broadcast that is going to be live. And I believe it is titled Rumors of Wars Part 1. So you might want to check it out. The time is actually over there on the poster. Do tune in, and we're just going to be hearing what he's going to be saying prophetically concerning the nations. All right. So yes, so I bring those videos to you so that you just have a heads up on what is happening, what God is saying, so that you know how to plan your things and how to pray and how to prepare. All right. So I'll meet you in the next one as always. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. God bless you.